So guys, in the previous image, you have already seen how we use the template to answer any question of describe image. Any image essentially has three important areas from where you can get information to use in your answer. The first is the title of the image, as you can see here. The second is the axis of the image, as you can see here. We have x-axis and we have y-axis. And then third is legend. Legend means the different symbols, different colors used in the image. So in almost all the images, you'll find these three types of information: title, axis, and legends. When you are describing the image, try to take help from these three areas so that your answer becomes structured and filled with the keywords. This way, you don't have to memorize anything and you do not need to depend on repetition of the questions. Now, let's say if we get this question in the exam, how can we describe it in the best possible way to get 15 out of 15 from this question? This is the template we are going to use, and you can see in the template I fill the gap with the necessary information you are required to include in your answer. So let's see how we can do it with an actual question. So I'm going to refer to the same image I showed you in the previous slide. So let's say this is the image and I'm using this template. How can I give an appropriate response which finishes within 40 seconds, contains all the key information which I can use fluently, and where my pronunciation can be clear and get me the highest possible score? So let's do that. The given diagram shows BRIC nations' average annual income. In this diagram, I can see information about. Now, in this part, you just use the keywords. So you say, in this diagram, I can see information about US dollar from 0 to 20,000, time period from 1990 to 2015, and countries such as Brazil, China, India, and Russia. Now look at the timer. If you feel that you still have a lot of time left, you can even comment on the colors. So you can say something like Brazil is in red color, China in blue color, India in orange color, and Russia in green color. If you don't have enough time, just move on to the next sentence. And in the next part, you just pick one key information from the image and include that in your answer. And you can say, more importantly, I can see that the values of all the countries are increasing. That's it. Don't try to say what that value is about or what that means. Don't try to analyze, just describe. Remember, that is the reason why we call this question describe image, not analyze image. Then, if you still have a lot of time, sometimes what happens in the exam is you might finish all of this within 20 seconds or in less than 20 seconds. But because you have to speak for more than 25 seconds, in such case, you can just include this optional line which says we'll need a detailed analysis of the image to get other interesting implications, and then give the conclusion. Conclusion is just the repetition of the title. So you can say, overall, the diagram provides important details about BRIC nations' average annual income. So this is how you can use the template. So let's put all of this together and see how it is actually done in the real exam. The given diagram shows BRIC nations' average annual income. In this diagram, I can see information about US dollar from 0 to 20,000, time period from 1990 to 2015, and countries such as Brazil, China, India, and Russia. I can also see information about different colors of the countries. Brazil is in red color, China in blue color, India in orange color, and Russia in green color. More importantly, I can see that the values of all the countries are increasing. We'll need a detailed analysis of the image to get other interesting implications. Overall, the diagram provides important details about BRIC nations' average annual income. Now, on a final note, there are two things you can do or skip. First, whether or not you should talk about color depends on how much time you have and how much you have already spoken. Second, whether or not to include that optional sentence which says we'll need a detailed analysis depends on how much you have already spoken and whether you have spoken for long enough or not. The other things will be almost constant in all types of images. Now we'll look into different types of images and we'll see how we will slightly modify the template according to the question type.